Hi everybody, I thought I'd give you a little treat today and show you how I make our campsite samosas, or my version of them anyway. If you like spicy food as we do, it makes a change and they're quick and simple to make. So basically what we start off with is a medium-sized potato, diced and boiled till it's just soft. You don't want to overcook it, you still need to have a little bit of crunch in it. And in here we have half a medium onion, finely diced, half a yellow bell pepper, finely diced, one nice big fat chili if you like it hot, but de-seeded and finely diced, a big thumb-sized piece of fresh ginger, peeled and diced again, and 2 to 3 large garlic cloves, and the same done with those. The idea is you boil your potatoes first, get those partially cooked, and then what we'll do is fry off the other ingredients along with the spices we're going to add to it, which is, because we can't get Chinese 5 spice here, we're using pumpkin spice, some gram masala, cumin, cumin, some gram masala, and some turmeric. Those all get mixed in with this. The potatoes then get added to it, and you just cook it through until everything's just about cooked. You still want a little bit of crisp to it, and then we'll show you how we put it all together. So to start the cooking, we add some olive oil or cooking oil, whichever you prefer, to a saucepan, and first we're going to fry off all these vegetables that we've prepared ready to go. And just put them all in together. So as I said, in there we had onions, garlic, ginger, root ginger, some bell peppers, and a smallish to large courgette, depending on how much you want. You can use carrots, which is what we normally put in there, but unfortunately here in Mexico carrots are very difficult to come by. So we have to improvise with what's available. Right, so we're going to add our spices now. So like I said, we can't get Chinese 5 spice, which is my preferred spice, but pumpkin spice is as close as we can get to it. So we want about half a teaspoon of pumpkin spice. About half a teaspoon of turmeric.
Without using a teaspoon?
I'm a cook, I always guess everything I'm doing. Half a teaspoon of gram masala.
See, I would actually guess a teaspoon or half a teaspoon out and do that.
And a good teaspoon of cumin.
Oh, need smell-o-vision here.
And now about a half teaspoon of ground black pepper or white pepper, whichever is your preference. And I've forgotten the salt. And a bit of salt to flavour. And we just stir that in and mix it into the vegetables so that everything is coated. Right, now once we've got it all cooking, the reason we've put the spices in with the vegetables before the vegetables are cooked is to make sure that we cook everything through, otherwise you end up with a very raw, harsh flavour from the spices. The spices need to be cooked off and that will happen while you're doing the vegetables. Right, the vegetables are partially cooked now, more or less the same as what the potatoes are that we parboiled. So we now add the parboiled potatoes into the vegetable mix with the spices. Give it a good stir to make sure that the potato takes on all the flavour of the spice as well. So basically you can make these using any combination of vegetables you've got kicking around. Like I said, when we were back home in Wales, it used to be whatever we had a glut of at the time from our garden. But here, like I said, it's mainly onion, courgette, potatoes, peppers, because those are the easy things to get hold of. But like I said, anything will go into a vegetable samosa. It's nice. And the thing is when you're cooking them, is just mix it all well together so everything's coated with the spices, and cook it through for about between 5 and 10 minutes till you're happy that the vegetables are just about at the consistency which you like them, with something with a little bit of a bite to it. But you don't want them soft and mushy, otherwise it will fall to pieces. Right, a must for this dish is fresh coriander. Nothing beats the flavour. Powdered coriander is nothing like it, so you need to get fresh. And don't be afraid to use the stalks as well, because there are a lot more flavour in the stalks. So all we do is just roughly chop it. You want to end up with a really big handful of coriander that you can then mix into the cooked vegetables.
And you've got a very big hand.
And I've got big hands. For me, you can never have enough coriander. Right, we've turned everything off that's cooking in the saucepan now, because it's reached the point that I'm happy with. And now we add the coriander to the cooked vegetables. Don't be tempted to put the coriander in and mix it in while cooking the vegetables, because you will not get the flavour imparted into the sauce that's already in there. So stir in the coriander into the hot vegetables, and already I can smell the aroma coming off. It's absolutely amazing. I love this.
Whoa, whoa.
So once everything's done, you've got your coriander stirred in, you just take it off the heat and we'll leave it to cool prior to assembling the samosas. Right, while the mixture is cooling down, we need to now make the yogurt raita to go with it. For that you're going to need some good plain yogurt.
Unsweetened.
Don't be afraid of Greek yogurt. It is the best yogurt to make raita with. It is superb. So full fat yogurt, you will need probably a container this size, probably about a quarter of that container, so it'll be about 2 to 3 big tablespoonfuls. You're going to need some lemons.
The way I eat it, you need more than that, but there we are.
You're going to need a lemon or some limes and some more coriander. What we do is squeeze our lemon straight into the yogurt, and if you get hold of them, these are the best lemon squeezers in the whole wide world. They remove every single drop of juice. It's one of my favourite tools. And as you can see, little tiny limes, but they produce an awful lot of juice. So that goes in. A good amount of salt. And now the coriander. We're going to put in about the same amount of coriander as we put into the vegetables. You can do it on your own preference. You can put less in or more in. I just like a lot of coriander in there. Another option you can put into it is some finely chopped cucumber as well. And it makes a delicious accompaniment to the samosas.
Well, a lot of people use mint, but we can't get mint here in Mexico. You can use a combination of mint and coriander.
Mint and coriander mixed together is delicious. And it looks a bit chunky when it's done, but it is yummy. And the best thing to do is to make it and leave it to stand for a while, and then all the flavours go into the yogurt. Tony's cheat tip number 1. I learnt this from watching a Hairy Bikers episode where they did a tour of England and they went to this Indian lady who was making samosas, and getting samosa pastry, or making it, is quite difficult, but these are the next best thing. Tortillas. They absolutely fry up beautifully and crisp. You can buy them in all different sizes. Here in Mexico we've got these ones which are about 6 inches. In the UK they tend to come as wraps, as they're called, in packets of about 12 inches in diameter. But I'll show you the 2 different methods I use for actually loading them up ready to go. First way of doing, you need some water. Just wet your fingers, spread the water all over the wrap on the part which is going to be the inside, and then just put a good spoonful of mixture right into the middle, like so, and literally just fold it over and tuck the mixture back in like you would making a pasty, and then firmly press down around the outside. Don't be worried if it splits a little bit in places, it'll be fine. All the mixture will stay inside and it will cook and crisp up lovely. Right, option number 1. Now the other way of doing it, imagine if you would that this is the larger 12-inch ones that you get in the UK. What I would do with those is cut them in half like that, so you end up with 2 semicircles. Then you just wet the tortilla in the same way. Get some mixture, place it in the middle, and then basically what we're going to do is make a little tiny triangle by folding the sides over and pressing them down. And just press the seams around with your fingers, and you end up with a little bite-sized samosa.
Yum, yum.
Right, the finished product. We now need to cook them. So we're going to shallow fry them, and this was a pack of 15 6-inch tortillas, and we've got 2 left. So,
but I ate one.
well,
so
it would
12.
have been 3 left, but Nikki's ate one with a piece of cheese for lunch. So it makes quite a few. The nice thing is when these are cooked, they freeze beautifully. So you can cook them off, eat them fresh when they're all nice and crispy, put them in the freezer, enough for a meal or whatever for 1 or 2 of you, in a bag or a box. And then when you want to reheat them, the best thing we found is to heat them up in an oven. We're lucky we have a small oven with us, so we can do that. But put them into a moderate oven of about 170, something like that, and they will reheat through beautifully and crisp up again. So
if you're desperate, put them in the microwave. Any of my old work colleagues will remember how I used to bring loads of these and fill the staff room up with lovely smells of them reheating. But
depends if you like them soggy
well,
or crisp.
Yeah, but if you've got to, you've got to. You can eat them cold, but they're nice and hot. Microwave them, but they're soggy, but they still taste the same.
And then have them with lashings of the Ritter. So first off, we'll cook these traditional shaped ones, and what I tend to do is to put them with the seam down first so that they cook on that side. And then we have our pasty version, which we're now going to cook. So we pop that in. Just hold the edges down slightly so they don't completely fall apart. The oil needs to be hot enough so they fry, but we don't want it smoking hot so that they burn. We just need them to go a lovely golden brown on each side. That one's starting to go, so we just turn him back over again, leave him a few more minutes. So we just need to cook the tortilla until it's a lovely golden brown and goes nice and crispy, and then take it out of the cooking oil, sit it on some kitchen roll so it can drain off. So that's the original one that I've done of the Tony Johnson pasty version. This is the more traditional shape, but these are tiny because we've only got little tortillas. Now it's time to taste. As I said, you only need to brown off the tortillas because all the ingredients inside are already pre-cooked. So it's just a case to get them nice and crispy. And when they come out, they will be blisteringly hot inside, I can tell you that. So let's give it a go. Bit of raita. Oh, heaven.
Finishing my taste test, I've had a little one. I'm going to have the other half of the other one.
So there we are. That's Tony's quick cheat samosas a la campsite. So I hope you try them. I hope you enjoy them as much as we do. They're very simple to make, and it just makes you smile because it's lush food.